I never expected a simple visit to a lonely woman in hospice to change my life forever. She had no family by her side, no visitors, and barely enough strength to speak. But just before I left, she grabbed my hand with surprising force and whispered something that made my blood run cold. "Go home. Don't let your family be together tonight. Please trust me." I thought she was confused. I almost ignored her, until a single phone call proved she had just saved every person I loved. Stay until the end, because what happened that night still has no explanation. My name is Daniel, and I volunteered at a local hospice every Saturday. Most people avoided visiting dying strangers, but I believed no one should spend their final days alone. One rainy afternoon, I met an elderly woman named Eleanor. Her room was silent except for the sound of rain tapping against the window. She smiled warmly even though she looked incredibly weak. For hours, she shared stories about her late husband, her children who had stopped visiting years ago, and the lonely life she had accepted. Before leaving, I promised I'd visit again the following week. As I stood at the door, Eleanor suddenly called my name. Her trembling hand reached toward me. She looked directly into my eyes and whispered, "Please, don't let your family gather at your house tonight. Something terrible will happen. Promise me you'll listen." I froze. She had never met my family. She couldn't possibly know we had planned a birthday dinner that evening. I forced a smile, thanked her, and walked away, convinced the medication had made her confused. But halfway home, I couldn't stop thinking about her words. Instead of driving straight home, I called my wife and asked her to cancel the dinner. She laughed and asked why. I couldn't explain it, but I begged her to trust me. Reluctantly, she agreed, and everyone stayed home. Only 2 hours later, my phone exploded with emergency alerts. A gas explosion had destroyed the restaurant where we were supposed to celebrate. Several people were injured. The exact room we had reserved suffered the worst damage. My hands began shaking. I realized Eleanor's warning had saved my wife, my children, my parents, everyone. The next morning, I rushed back to the hospice. Her room was empty. A nurse quietly told me Eleanor had passed away peacefully just a few hours after I left. Before she died, she had asked the staff to give me a small envelope. Inside was a handwritten note. "Kindness always finds its way back. Thank you for making my last days feel less lonely. Never ignore the quiet voice that tells you to protect the people you love." I couldn't hold back my tears. To this day, I don't know how she knew. Maybe it was coincidence. Maybe it was intuition. Or maybe, in life's final moments, some people see things the rest of us never can. One thing is certain. Because I chose kindness that day, my entire family got another chance at Lee. Sometimes the greatest miracles don't arrive with flashing lights or loud voices. Sometimes they come as a whisper from someone the world has forgotten. If this story touched your heart, remember one thing. A single act of kindness can change a life, and sometimes, it can even save one.